Hi Fuses! So, On and Off's coming back. Yay! All these months of patiently waiting finally paid off, and now we're about to witness another amazing comeback our boys have prepared for us. I would like to take this great opportunity to share with you the hours that I've spent on analyzing On and Off storyline. Also, this whole summary of the story might take a while, so I'll be dividing it to 3 shorter parts, so I don't bore you to death. From my own personal experience, I hate to watch analysis videos longer than 20 minutes.
And yes, I'm fully aware that this video is longer than 20 minutes. I'm sorry, but I promise the other ones will be shorter.
Okay, well, the reason I'm making these videos is because I wasn't able to find any videos talking about On and Off story, and I think that is a shame since their story is a really interesting one. When I was watching all the MVs for the first time, it was kinda clear that there was some sort of a story, but god damn it, they just can't make it simple. Out of all the groups I stan and whose storyline I've been interested in, On and Off's is by far the trickiest one. Unlike other storylines I've done an analysis of, like ATEASes, DXTs, and Hypens or One-Uses, there are things like story film, story-related teasers, or even diaries in which the story is literally described word for word. On and Off has none of those. So the only source I could use were comeback posters, music videos, which I watched numerous times, over and over, in different playback speeds, so I wouldn't miss anything. Plus some additional info they've mentioned in their shows like Lights On, Lights Off, or On the Run. Yes, it was exhausting, but it was actually fun. Links to all the sources used in the video will be in the description, so feel free to go through it yourself. I also added links to articles written by other Fuses that helped me put all this together, so make sure to check it out as well. Now, with the announcement of their big comeback, it is the perfect time to sum up what we've seen in the On and Off's universe so far. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, I'll present you the MVs in chronological order. That is, complete, On and Off, and why in this video, then We Must Love, Sukhumvit's Women and Popping, plus some extra scenes from complete and On and Off in the second part, and at last, Beautiful Beautiful, Ugly Dance, Goosebumps, and Your Song as a grand finale. For better understanding, I'll share with you a little graph I've created containing all the important information within the MVs, as well as how the story goes. The link for it will be in the description as well. It gets a bit confusing when the whole time travel thing starts to mess up the storyline, so it is better to see the story as a whole. But if you don't understand what I'm talking about right now, it's fine. Just keep watching and you'll find out. Let's begin with complete. The Korean title actually doesn't say complete. Nol mannan sungan translates to the moment I met you. So naturally, this is the very beginning of On and Off story. Most of the scenes are either performance or glamour shots, so there isn't much to analyze. Very important are the short shots of natural disasters, suggesting there might be an end of the world coming, which is later seen in the Sukhumvit's Women MV. It is important to mention that at the start there is a certain organization. We'll have a chance to see mentions of them later in the story. This organization seems to have plans for the future and can also create androids, which can be recognized by barcode on their neck. Let's not talk about that. If I was to mention some scenes that are important to the story, we have the scene of Laun firing a flare gun, followed by a shot of Jaehyus, Hyojin, MK, and Ishin on the roof, fixing their eyes on something in the distance. Most likely the flare. Well, normally flares are used to mark a target, a meeting point, or to send a distress signal. So there probably is some kind of an assembly, or maybe a little foreshadowing that the organization may not be so great after all. In general, there are a lot of shots of different members stopping and staring at the sky. That may symbolize that they are aware of the disasters coming, or maybe the organization told them about it to motivate them to join and survive as androids. There is also this shot of Wyatt holding a red smoke bomb. As he said himself in the behind the scenes, it is an SOS signal. The reason behind it may be the approaching wave of natural disasters, since Wyatt seems to be able to see the forthcoming danger. Now let's take a closer look at the boys. In some scenes we see the members having fun together, so they must be close friends, and also they're clearly human. For now. The most important member in this MV would be Laun. He was the one to fire the flare to notify the boys about his whereabouts, or to give them any other signal. If we put all this information together, we get to the conclusion that Lau knows about the organization, or maybe already joined them and became an android. He gathered the other members to tell them about the disasters that will destroy the Earth and that they should join the organization as well. Now, when it comes to the lyrics, it's a classic, love-inspired song talking about not being able to live without the person the song is for, that they feel incomplete without them, and that they can't sleep at night. They contradict themselves with the lyrics of If We Dream from the On and Off album. They sing about not wanting to wake up and that they've been sleeping very well lately. Chronologically, On and Off comes after You Complete Me, so you can think of it as a little sequel. That after all the boys had joined the organization, they're basically living a dream, an illusion, a lie. But they seem to be satisfied with it. The process of having your mind uploaded into an android body is later mentioned in a poster from Y. It states, they were originally friends, as well as humans. Humans made their memories digitalize as they evolved, and then they got into android-like boy as such evolved case. But they became android, and it was only remaining in records, but their feelings disappeared. In the second verse of Complete there is a phrase. I even start to think, have I become some sort of an experiment? All this leads us to the conclusion that the boys decided to join the organization and became androids. That gets us to the second music video, On and Off. There we can see that all the members had already joined the organization, as we get shots of the members having the barcode on their neck. They seem to have been taken to some sort of a futuristic facility where they live their everyday lives. What I think is that this facility is the building we then see in the popping music video, but we'll get there in the next video. Let's first take a look at our main character, Laun. There are multiple scenes of him being separated from the boys, and another very important shot of Laun in front of a mirror with the phrase "My name is" and his photo attached to it. This could mean one thing. He is aware of himself. He is not just a machine created by the organization. He wants to remember his name. He wants to remember who he is, that he used to be a human, and keep his memories as a human being. This is a very important phrase, so remember that. Throughout the whole MV, there is a loading bar, and once it reaches 100%, an astronaut by the entrance to the facility appears. We can also see Laun by what seems like a satellite tower with a little lithium-ion battery, possibly sending the signal to the astronaut. The only thing I know is that the person in the spacesuit is actually Oh My Girl Sungi, but unfortunately this character appears in no other On and Off MV. Maybe we'll find out who this mysterious girl is in the future. However, I'm actually open to minor plot holes because I think Laun's delayed departure from the group wasn't planned and that could possibly create some imperfection in the story. The only explanation I can give you right now is that again, it could and most likely is connected to the popping MV. Now, the lyrics are pretty self-explanatory. Basically, it is about creating robots, in this case, androids, controlling them, saying they will do anything the creator commands, and yet they are confused by an unknown feeling. This is mentioned in the bridge. It's weird. What's wrong with me? Sometimes I don't understand. What is this feeling? I can't control myself. Please hold me. In this case, it could apply to Laun's behavior, as he wants to be more human-like. Very similar are the lyrics of Cat's Waltz. This song is from a cat's point of view. They refer to the listener as a master who gave them their name. Call my name that you made for me. After Laun had separated himself from the members, things started to go down. In the Y music video, we see a lot of conflict. We have Ishan trying to shoot Yu. Yuta on the other side is desperately looking for something. Of course, we have our leader line fighting over their favorite child. And then we have MK, doing whatever MK does. Okay, let's talk a bit about the teasers and posters for this comeback. We got 7 teasers with 7 different hashtags. In the Signal episode 1, we see JS on the run with his laptop. That is directly connected to the episode 2, since we see Hyojin at the same places where JS had been in the first teaser. Something tells me Hyojin is after JS. Episode 3 added a context to the previous 2. There is a short clip of JS and Hyojin having a fight on a staircase, and then a shot of Wyatt and JS meeting in a crowd of people. At the end of the third teaser, we see 2 Wyatts standing side by side on the edge of a cliff. In conclusion, Becoming an android transfers your mind into an android body, but your human form remains untouched. Now, time to overanalyze. Let me just remind you that everything in the on and off universe is somehow connected, and nothing is coincidental. Now, let's take a moment and take a look at the first poster that came out. We have what seems like a receipt, except it's not. There are just some random words that may sound familiar. That is because these are actually the hashtags from the teasers. Now, what do the numbers mean, you may ask? On the other side of the receipt, there are serial numbers from the barcodes which belong to the on and off members. If we add up the 5 digits of each code, we get 7 numbers. These numbers match with the number of seconds on the receipt, and of course, it also matches with the hashtags from the teasers. Crazy, right? It is also completely useless, so feel free to forget everything I've just said. Okay, enough of this madness, and let's go back to the MV and take a closer look at the events that took place in the video. First, Ishan. In most of his scenes, we see him in either a forest or on an island. What's interesting is the little device he's wearing on his wrist, a watch. In one shot, we get a close-up, and on the display of the watch there are numbers resembling what could only be coordinates, even though they kinda don't make sense. After that, a portal appears. So, Ishan is basically able to teleport, but he doesn't seem to know how to use it properly just yet, considering the coordinates he used, because in most of his scenes he looks rather lost and confused. I assume the watch has been given to him by the organization, because later we see him attempting to shoot Yu. The reason why I think Ishan is with the organization is because Yu is clearly against the law. He broke into a gallery with a Joker mask looking for a key. After that, the police arrived, and Yu ran away, so he could hardly be on the organization side. Throughout the whole MV, he seems to be looking for something, and at one point, he just gave up. At the beginning, I skipped some of the teasers because it is more convenient to talk about them now. Yuto's episode 6 didn't contain anything crucial, but we got a chance to see what an android vision looks like. We also see Yu showing affection towards a dog, so despite being a machine, his feelings remain. An interesting video was the Signal episode 5, which was supposed to be Laun's teaser, but unfortunately he left the group right before the release, so even though his code did appear on the receipt, his character wasn't shown in the teaser, but it was still related to him in a way. The computer in the teaser shows a signal detected screen, which we've seen before in the on and off MV, when Laun sent the signal to the astronaut. In one scene, Yu was actually sitting right in front of this particular computer, so he was probably trying to acquire the data Laun had sent. Okay, back to why. I should also point out that after Ishan failed to assassinate Yuto, Yu approached him, but just ended up leaving him behind. Yeah, you know it, friendship goals, just try to kill one another and then move on. I'm joking, of course. This just means Yu still values their past friendship and doesn't want to fight him, since he is an android with emotions. In this particular scene, I would also like to mention the blue orchid flowers that usually accompany Ishan in his scenes, like the blue rose in Sukhumvit's Women and Goosebumps. Blue orchids usually symbolize some kind of a rarity or uniqueness, but could also mean peace or eternal hope. That might be the reason Yu left Ishan and didn't try to fight back, because he still hopes their past days may come back. He still believes in their friendship and hopes for a brighter future. Moving back to the scene where Yu was looking for something, there is this very short clip of Ishan and Yu in the same room where Yuta was. This may or not be the reason Yu didn't get the data, but at least he managed to steal the key from the gallery, as we later see him holding it. Okay, let's move to Wyatt. He seems to be in the process of having his consciousness transferred into an android. We see him half naked in a tube of some sort, and then in the mountains with the metallic/neon ornaments on his back. The barcode on the glass tube seems to confirm this assumption. Now, the leader line. It is more than obvious that Hyojin is with the organization and JS is against. We have a scene of Hyojin surrounded by these cult-like people who I assume are the organization members, and JS pointing a gun at them. We also have a scene where JS and Hyojin had a fight after seeing Wyatt in a tube or an incubator. I don't know what I should call it, but you know what I mean. What I think happened there is that JS found out that the organization had lied to them because there was an abundance of scene of him moving from place to place, including the teasers, probably on the run, and kept on going through his laptop that most likely contained information about the organization and wanted to stop his friend. I'll stop here and talk a bit more about JS's character. So, where did he get the info? The only person aware of the organization's bad intentions was Laun. But where in the world did he go? We can find references to that in the post I mentioned before. The second and third paragraph states, "Meanwhile, a hacker came to know the secret too late, visited the VAS with the multiverse like multiple universe, and did hacking to deliver the illegal chip online in order to look for them. A person who first found its clue left in a secret place, who maintained a close relationship with him. He wandered in the multiverse following its trace. The two got together in the end, but there was not much time left to him." We also got a short clip of JS's laptop screen with shots from Hyojin's trailer. That is probably why Hyojin is unable to hunt him down. JS in general seems to be the most human-like. Even though we know for sure that he indeed is an android, he's able to show affection and probably other emotions as well. We can see his writings about feelings on the poster. Feelings in a certain boundary which cannot be defined, along with sadness, joy, anger, and hatred. Conveniently enough, this was his comeback poster. However, Hyojin believes the organization and that caused the two of them to fight. Okay, and as the last member, we have MK. He is the only member with all solo shots and is also the member who confuses me the most. First off, he apparently knows everything. We see him watch Ishan and New fight, and then in We Must Love he watches Wyatt and Ishan again. He seems to have some sort of a VR set. After putting that on, we see a scene that is similar to that of a semicircular path from the Sukhumvit's Women MV. Then he appears near some sort of a monument next to a lake. After that, he takes a metal cube and with a key that somehow teleports to his hands, he activates it. In the shot where he gets the key, there is a transition to a hand of someone in a black cloak holding the key. The only person in this video who could fit this description would be the second Hyojin that made his appearance at the end of the MV. From now on, I'll just refer to him as the Android Hyojin, even though they're technically both androids. Clones if you like, since clues about cloning were all over the place. The Android Hyojin just behaves more like a machine. But you can call him whatever you want. I heard some fuses refer to him as the evil Hyojin or Hyojin's evil twin. So in total, we have 3 Hyojins. The red-haired one is the human original as his facial expression showed genuine emotions and frustration. The black and white hair that is in the majority of the MV is the android version. I refer to him as simply Hyojin. And the one in the black cloak is known as the evil Hyojin, or the android Hyojin. Don't worry though, soon there will be just 2 of them. Okay, back to the story. What I think happened is that MK somehow stole the key from the android Hyojin with the VR set, or the other way around. Hyojin somehow took it from him, but I'm honestly not sure. Like I said before, MK confuses me the most. But I noticed that he tends to be in a lot of scenes with high-tech stuff, like the VR set here, or the monitors in We Must Love, the pirate hideout in Sukhumvit's Women and Goosebumps, or his little hacker van in Beautiful Beautiful, but most importantly, the not very high-tech camera in Popping and Your Song. We have a lot to unpack here, but let's go back to where we left off for now. After the activation, the cube fires a yellow beam towards the sky that turns into a meteor rain afterwards. I would also like to point out a scene where Wyatt is holding a key to the cube that he yeets away afterwards. Maybe he's against the idea of creating a new world, because as we see later, in the Goosebumps MV for example, and as I already mentioned during Complete, Wyatt can sense danger, so he's aware of the threat the organization may turn out to be with all the androids that could help them take control. Now, the lyrics of Y are about a toxic relationship. They're obsessed with their lover, they're aware of the fact that the person is not good for them, and they don't understand why they still love them. The chorus goes, "Why? Why do I like you? I'm getting sad. But why do I want you? Why you?" Then it continues with, "The more I hold you in my arms, the deeper it gets. Why do I like you? Why? You're too dangerous and I'm getting broken. Some members are coming back to their senses. That is mentioned in the second verse. What are the symptoms of this trembling? Am I getting broken? This could mean that members like Jias or you already know that the organization is using them, but the others are still blinded and believe in a better tomorrow alongside the organization. I think all the fuses know On and Off participated in the show Road to Kingdom, and some might say that there was no additional information to their storyline. But we actually got some valuable lore for the On and Off universe. The most important piece of information is how they refer to the cube MK activated, the Pandora's box.
우리가 이번에 약간 느낌이 판도라의 상자를 열어 신세계로 간다.
As some of you may know, Pandora's box contains all the natural disasters, and if you happen to open it, the world will come to an end. And that is exactly what happened. However, the Pandora's box in On and Off's universe is a bit different. In the Shinsegae/New World stage in the final episode of Road to Kingdom, they opened the Pandora's box altogether and created the New World. So just to put it into the actual storyline, MK opened the Pandora's box and destroyed the planet in order to create a new world. The story within the new world performance was thankfully explained by you in his commentary video. At the beginning, the keys later used to open/activate the cube are in JS's and Hyojin's hands afterward. The dancers play the role of androids sent by the organization who steal the key from On and Off because they don't want the members to create the new world. We can actually see the image referring to this in the YMV. JS and Hyojin looking at a futuristic city together. That's them, dreaming of the new world. At the end, On and Off manages to get the keys back and activates the cube. Same as MK stole the key from the android Hyojin's hand. However, there is a problem. At the end of Y music video, there is an interaction between the two Hyojins. They seem to be exchanging some sort of information or data. Maybe Hyojin betrayed his past friends that he had probably already forgotten and handed over the plans for On and Off's new world to the organization so they can take over as Wyatt predicted and help them survive the end of the world as they promised. But guess what? They don't fulfill that promise, and we see the result of Hyojin's action later in We Must Love, Beautiful Beautiful, etc. And our poor Seung-junyi is left alone, betrayed by his best friend. The Pandora's box has been opened, causing the extinction of every living being on the planet as the new world is being formed. On and Off reaches a point of no return. Or do they? But there will be enough for today. Let's continue next time. Don't forget to check all the links in the description if you want to properly understand the story. If you happen to have some additional questions or you would perhaps like to share your own theories, feel free to share your opinions in the comment section below. And until next time, stay happy and healthy. Bye!